Welcome everyone to another UCL episode of the Fanspire. And before we start, obviously, all our thoughts go to what is happening in Ukraine, since we already got to know like almost a war has started out already. On that note, I would like direct the first topic to Prasanna itself. Like obviously, if you can see in your comment section that we have some topics what we'll be discussing about today. So feel free to chime in, put your thoughts in the comment section of what you feel on what is happening, not only there but the topics we are going to discuss about. So Prasanna, obviously there are rumors that Chelsea's owner, obviously Roman Abramovich, is a Russian uh, you know, big supporter of Vladimir Putin, and so there are rumors that there are few pundits, few media outlets stating that he should not be allowed, or even MPs in London are stating that he should no more be the owner of Chelsea after what has happened. Schalke has removed the premium sponsor, the premier sponsor, Gazprom from the jerseys. So, do you think it will be justified?
I mean, this was just totally randomly out of the blue. Like here in my part, it's like 10 a.m. in the morning, and morning I woke up, I just saw the news that oh my god, this is happening. So, and you're reading news articles, everything flying around here and there, and it's just I don't know. I mean, he's not even in the country anyway. That's the thing. I mean, he's been having visa issues for such a long time, and he's not even in stadiums, and he doesn't even come to see Chelsea play. Whereas you always see him at every game, and I don't know, probably. And see that's the thing. Nah, that's one problem that many people have had. If someone else does it, if someone else is from the same country, you should say, "Oh, remove him because someone else from his country did." I mean, that doesn't make sense because unless he himself had a part to play in whatever is happening, he should not be even involved in this. I mean, that's politics and sports. That what do you say? That mix has been how many careers have it destroyed because of politics alone. And I mean, unless that person is involved in whatever has happened, I don't think he or she should be removed at that particular capacity. That's what I think.
Yeah, there many fingers were raised not only now, but since he took over, since Chelsea became successful, like how he has generated so much revenue, regardless of how he has used it for good stuff in England and other countries. But the way there are fingers raised that how he has generated his income, his the money which he is putting in Chelsea. So right now, obviously we don't have any clarity on it, and we can, like you said, just hope that football and politics don't get mixed as such, and just have football in its own place and enjoy the sport we actually love. So on to the first main topic, obviously the Champions League matches. All teams have played their first leg, and mixed results for few teams, surprising results for a couple of them. One of a surprising result, I mean, I don't know if it was surprising for United fans, but United got a draw from Atletico Madrid. So Chinma, do you feel you all were lucky to even get away with a point?
Yeah, I think we are very lucky that we didn't slip up yesterday because all the build up, it was all about United. Everybody was talking about how Atletico hasn't been at their level and about how Simeone might be losing the plot. But I feel, you always have to fear someone like an Atletico and a Simeone. And they really proved why they are recommended as one of the world corners and why they were able to get ahead in the first 10 minutes, if I'm not wrong, to Joao Felix. We didn't play that well, United. Um, there were spells in the first half where I thought, do we even deserve to be in the Champions League round of 16 because we were playing that badly. But again, Ralph Rangnick, probably whatever he said in the halftime talk, he was able to get the intensity up. Some passages of play were really good, and I think a good spell of 5-10 minutes, 5-10 minutes and max, I would say, during the end of the game. Anthony Elanga, star boy. They're saying that he is Ralph Rangnick's star boy. He is his academy product, and they're saying that he really did save United and Ralph Rangnick out there.
Yeah, like so we have like a point, and we are going to discuss it later. But it was like Atletico Madrid was playing the crossbar challenge because they hit the crossbar like what, twice or thrice in the game. They could have gone ahead, 2-3 nil before Elanga came on and scored again. So like you mentioned, you all were like lucky. But do you think, regardless of the performance, a 1-1 draw with away goals scrapped out, now going back to Old Trafford, that's the biggest thing you can hope for, because we know Old Trafford, anything can happen, especially on a Champions League night.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing from yesterday was that we were playing away and 1-1. It is a difficult ground to go to. I don't, they might be reports, where they say that Atletico haven't won a home game, I think, for a year or more, if I'm not wrong. But it is always a difficult ground to go to whenever you're playing in the Champions League or any game, of course, because the mentality of the Atletico team and the fans really do get behind them. And I think the best thing about yesterday was that we didn't lose. We held out for a 1-1 draw. As you said, the crossbar challenge. I think that is all the Champions League is all about. Someone misses a chance, and the other team can go up and take them up on it. And let's hope that Langa, who scored yesterday, let's hope that the crossbar challenges, all the misses they had a few more chances to be honest, but they didn't take them. There was that Lindelof chance again, another one which is the crossbar, if I'm not wrong. And you have a look at how it might just come up at Old Trafford. As you said, the second leg is at Old Trafford. 70,000 fans when they're going to be singing for the red team. I think it would probably help United more than it did yesterday.
Yeah, and you spoke about Elanga, the star boy of Ralf Ragnick. I mean, then we have to obviously speak about Chelsea star boy in such competitions, Kai Havertz, stepping up again, high intensity start from Chelsea, and deservedly got the first goal himself. So, like, what is the difference? Like, obviously, you could see the difference with how Havertz play and how Chelsea play with Lukaku. Like, how do you make this out, Prasanna?
I mean, I saw a stat from Matt Law. I'm not sure if it was to take the Mickey or anything, because, and he said Havertz scored with his 8th touch. If you know, you know. And we have seen from like previous games, at least 3-4 games, how sluggish Chelsea were getting out of the blocks, and even Crystal Palace game, Chelsea were absolutely poor. It was basically a robbery that we did. We stole 3 points from the hands of Palace. I think they deserve something. And I kind of sympathize with Tuchel in the fact that what he said, multiple games, travel and all, playing in different temperatures, just fatigue. And I was like, okay, we somehow got to win, but that's not going to be an excuse when we play Lille. And we were straight off the blocks. First 10-15 minutes, we were on fire. We should have scored at least 2 or 3 times. You see Havertz missing an open goal, and then he got a save out of Yardim, that keeper, and then he was not to beat United a third time. And then I think defensively we were not great, but we did what we had to do. I don't think Mendy had to make a save as such. That's how good our defense was. Thiago Silverman, how do you explain to someone that he's only 37 years old?
Yeah, like a couple of weeks ago, or I guess last week itself, so we have a talking point over here as well. Like, Thiago Silva, is he the best signing for Chelsea? Firstly, Chelsea got him for free. Second, obviously, people are pointing fingers that, Virgil van Dijk is better and so on and so forth. Like, the whole Liverpool fan base woke up last week. And, considering his age, like you said, when Chelsea signed, he was 36. He's 37 now, going into a third year next season. So, do you think he is the best signing for Chelsea in the past few years, at least?
I mean, I would say the best free transfer. I mean, we have to also remember he actually took a pay cut from PSG to play at Chelsea, if I'm not wrong. So he's not on huge money at Chelsea, like some of the other big players, so to speak. But
Yeah.
and And that's the thing where he just doesn't put a foot wrong. Whenever he's there, you know that okay, you are up against Thiago Silva. He's not he's not young, but he can still do a job, and that's what he has been all about. And just being around him gives you that confidence for young players like say Christensen, who's starting to get regular game time now. Having a player like Thiago Silva next to you can only make you better because he is a champion player and he's going to obviously rub that off you as well. And apart from that, I think we probably could have done with scoring 2 or 3 more, but still I would take 2-0. I think man of the match was Christian Pulisic. He was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
And he capped it off with a goal as well. And the only concerning part is the injuries. Kovacic going off, Ziyech going off.
Yeah.
On that day, Tuchel said he wasn't sure about the extent of the injuries, but I just hope they are back sooner because Ziyech has been in superb form and Kovacic has also been good. We do need both of them for the upcoming Carabao Cup final.
So, I think few reports which came in state that the injuries are not that serious and just were impact injuries, and they could return to training soon enough, and they could even feature in the Carabao Cup. So because that's the story with Ziyech, to be honest, whenever he's in a good run of form, even last season under Lampard when he was doing superb, he got injured, came off, took like 10-15 games to just get going. Same this season as well. So we can just hope that both of them come back soon enough. But now speaking of Havertz, Lukaku, Pulisic, so Chelsea are known for now 3-4-3 or say 3-5-2. Which is the best front three or front two you see at Chelsea currently?
Ziyech, I think he has to play. I think that front three was actually better because Pulisic is better when he's played up front and not as a wing back. I don't know what the obsession with Tuchel is with him to play wing backs whenever we don't have anyone available, because we clearly see he's not fit for that wing back role and he's much better off playing that forward. And Havertz has the false nine. It has worked. Although people say he should be playing as the number 10 just behind the striker. And I think you can put that as a case for literally every single player. They are best when it's this system. They are best when it's at that system. And overall, I don't think you can create one system so that you can satisfy every one of them. It's going to be hard. Sometimes you do have to change formations. And I think that front three actually works. And but here's the thing with, I don't know what Tuchel has against Werner, because he just doesn't seem. We have a striker. Werner is a striker per se, and he's not starting him. But we are not complaining that much because we won. If we hadn't won, probably we would be saying, why is he not starting Werner? And Lukaku, I thought, okay, after his Club World Cup, what he did, he scored that goal in the final, proper striker set, and I think, okay, do something against Palace, and he did nothing. He had 7 touches, and one of them was from kickoff. What does that say? The thing with them strikers is either they can have a totally good performance or they can totally drop down to a 0. That's the thing. So I genuinely think Lukaku will start the final, and I think maybe Mount will also start because he's back in training and he was on the bench, but he wasn't playing. So I'm just thinking that he's getting fully ready to start on Sunday. But the performance was good enough, and I think we should be good to go through, because there were rumors that France, for players who are unvaccinated, they won't be allowed to travel to play there. So I'm not sure what the situation might be in 1 or 2 weeks, because I think that the return fixture is only in like 3 weeks or something, if I'm not mistaken. Something around that time. So 2 weeks, okay. So I think if rules are relaxed by then I think it should be pretty straightforward for Chelsea.
Yeah. And the next point is players fitting into a system like you mentioned. And Chinmay, even United is now rumored with Declan Rice. Like currently he's the hot British property which every top club wants. And obviously yesterday as well, his price rose to 120 million at least. So Chinmay, do you think he's the answer to all your problems with Fred and McTominay performing always together, but McTominay is rash at times, Fred inconsistent. Do you think a young player who has already established himself in the Premier League is the answer to your troubles?
Uh, yeah, but not for 120 million. And if they're asking that kind of money, you should probably look elsewhere. There are a lot of other midfielders on the market who can do a better job, or who can do a job at that kind of rate. I'm not saying that Declan Rice is overrated. He is one of the best right now at whatever he does. But 120 million for a center defensive midfielder, I really don't think so. I mean, you want to go for that kind of money, you would probably go on and probably go and buy Mbappe or Haaland, and I'm pretty sure they're not at the same level. And you look at someone like a Jude Bellingham. I'm just taking a name right here. I'm not saying he's a target for United, but you look at him and why isn't he a target for United? I have mentioned this on last week's show. You look at someone like a Tonali or players outside of England. Yeah, they are really, really good players who really want to prove a point in the Premier League. So you can, I think, probably go for such players. Smart buy something which Liverpool does, something which City does. You don't always need to splash around money because you've been splashing around money for 8 to 9 years now, and still not winning a league. So if you really want to win and build a champion squad, I think you should probably go for smart buys. Declan Rice, I'm never going to say no to Declan Rice, but 120 million, not for United. If we go for him, it's just stupid, to be honest. But it's in United's DNA now to make stupid decisions. So I just hope we don't make that one.
Like the same question to you, Prasanna. Do you think it is a stupid investment, especially at 120 million? And Chelsea do have many options there already with Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek, Gallagher coming in next season. So do you think he as well is going to be for Chelsea 120 million a big no?
If he was say even 60 or 70 million, I would take Declan Rice, to be honest, because for 60, 70 million, he is definitely worth. But given the players we have right now, and we still do, I think we do need a DM still, because Kante is not the level that he used to be. Yes, he's still playing well, but sometimes even Tuchel said at one point the way we are managing Kante is irresponsible. We are just playing him.
Yeah.
Even though he's injured, he came on in one game, and that was totally he himself accepted that it was totally irresponsible of him to do such a thing. And I think with Gallagher coming back, I think even with Billy Gilmore coming back, I think we should probably give them a chance, because
There could also be Ethan Ampadu who could slot in over there, because with his current club we have seen him play centre back, right back. We have seen him play as a holding midfielder as well. So Chelsea do have many young options as such who could be proper long-term replacements for Jorginho and Kante, who are obviously not getting any younger. So
exactly, and Gallagher, I think this is probably his fourth loan or something. So he's like Premier League proven his experience. We even saw he had a goal and assist yesterday against Watford, I think it was. So he's doing what he needs to do, and he's stepping up his game. The one thing I don't want is he comes back, a big offer comes in, big offer like a 40 or 50 million comes in, we sell him, and then we buy another player for 70, 80 million. That just doesn't work. Although I think that is probably what would happen, to be honest.
history of Chelsea.
Yeah.
And like speaking about players, obviously we have to talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, because Chinmay, you did mention in the last episode that Atletico Madrid are his favorite club to score against, especially when he was at Real Madrid. Almost impossible to see that he was invisible last night, but Old Trafford, fans cheering him on. Do you think again history will repeat and he will score, and that goal takes you through to the next round?
Well, he requires some service, and he is, for me, he is the world's best player. Okay, and that is my personal opinion. But even the best can't do it alone at times, and they need. Ralph Rangnick said that day before, and yesterday's game. If you have a look at the game, you could see that there were, at least 4 or 5 times when he could have been given the proper service and there could have been a Ronaldo goal. There was a passage of play, if you have a look at it, 20-second passage of play, three crosses, left, right, left, and at the end of it, Ronaldo says, "Well, one ball," and he says, "I'm the only one in here." That's what he says. He points and says, "I'm the only one in here." And the balls aren't pinpoint. And, it isn't as if, he doesn't need to work hard. Of course, he needs to. But he knows that because he's played this game for long enough. So I think service also matters in this kind of case. And yeah, I really do believe he will score in the return leg. I hope he's fit because March is a very important month for him alone. He's going to be playing City, Liverpool, Spurs, Atletico. Then he also needs to ensure that he's going to the World Cup. So, it's a very, very big month for him in March, international and club level. So I think he's on. You always know Ronaldo is a clutch player. So I think he'll be in for it. And I think he'll have a very, very good month in, the coming month, March.
Prasanna, your thoughts?
Yeah, so speaking of Atletico Madrid, I mean, they are the one team that you think okay, you can get past them, but they're always that annoying little pest that keeps around you. I mean, I can only like them out 2 or 3 games, like against Bayern. They led 1-0 in they led 1-0 at their home, and second leg they came, Bayern led 1-0. They got one goal, and that's it. The game was killed off then. And even against Liverpool, if not for that Adrian mistake, I think Liverpool would have easily gone through. They went and scored one or two, and you know what Madrid are going to do. And even last year, they were high flying. They were top of the league, and look how Chelsea made them bang average. Let's be honest, we had it very easy against them. But the thing is, there's no away goal, so I don't think Atletico will come as attacking as if away goals were there. I I think Atletico's game plan is if they score first and they keep Ronaldo silent, the game is over. Because we all
I
know.
don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think Ronaldo's the only person on the pitch, and we saw that yesterday.
I mean, I know that he is there. Yeah, that is there, but that's there. But I'm just saying, it's just Atletico know how to shithouse a 1-0 win more than anyone, more than most teams better. Simeone's been there, he's done that, and it's gonna be tough. And I think, and the thing with some players not turning up for one game and then turning up for the home game, and I think that's not, and that's one thing we have seen for most big players. Some games they decide to turn up, some games they decide not to. I mean, not that they wantedly do it, but sometimes you kind of see their body language and they're like, oh, I couldn't care less because
Yeah.
this much time nothing has
I,
really happened.
I don't think Ronaldo's body language was anything like that yesterday. I mean, honestly, I was looking, everybody's focus yesterday when United came out, and well, for a reason too. It wasn't Ronaldo. I mean, from the anthem to everything, and you could see the way he was warming up. He was greeting everyone in the team. He was, getting ready for Champions League night special. I feel, and I'm just going to repeat my point again. I think there is a lack of service in this team, and I was just mentioning it to someone that everybody talks about how Ronaldo's haunted Atletico again and again and again. Well, you need to look at the fact that he does not have Cruz, Casemiro. He does not have the players he had, and now I'm not saying anything about McTominay or Fred because I love them. I love how McTominay really gives you the street football vibes, and he really does because that's what he did against the Leeds. That is how we exactly won. But you look at how sometimes there is a lack of service for Ronaldo, and then all the blame goes on Ronaldo for not scoring. I feel he will turn up. He will be turned on, for that game because he does want to go through. He keeps on saying the same thing that this is the mother of all club competitions. That's what he says, and he knows it's his favorite league, it's his favorite competition. So I really think he would want to go through. And this is possibly, anyhow, whatever you want to say, this is United's realistically only chance of winning a trophy this season. So I really think all hopes are pinned in this, league, the competition, and let's just hope that Rani can get right in the second leg.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think the thing is whoever scores first, I think that'll play a massive advantage. If Atletico score first,
Yeah.
unless something miraculously happens, I don't think they're letting a one
But
nil
I
lead.
think I think I think the best part about that is I'm actually okay with Atletico scoring first. And the reason being there are no away goals, and
Yeah.
the big thing being that United, if you look at the wins we had in the Champions League against Atlanta and Villarreal, we literally came back from losing positions in both the games at home when 70,000 fans were shouting for United. And on both the games, Ronaldo scored. And
Yeah.
I think it's something about Old Trafford which gets them going. And I
You
think
know,
even
just
if
an
it
addition
doesn't,
to some of what you're saying, Summer's question. Like now, abolition of away goals or extra time and shootout, which is more fair since extra time gives 30 minutes extra in front of the home fans. Like you mentioned, again, Villarreal, Atlanta, Ronaldo scored in front of the 70,000 shouting United fans.
yeah,
And
yeah.
now, again, same
I
thing.
feel my first thoughts of it, they messed up the whole competition for no reason. I feel away goals should have been there. That is my personal opinion because
Yeah.
it really gives the chance to the away leg. I mean, you look at the PSG Madrid game right off the top of my head, and Ancelotti was so defensive in that game.
They didn't even
Had it
want to
been for
score.
away goals, had it been for away goals, I'm pretty sure he would have wanted to nick one or two goals in. But there was no, they weren't even looking like scoring. And that tells you what it does to a manager and a team. And I think the away goals, it really gives another kind of vibe, a Champions League kind of vibe. They Simeone is the king of away goals. You have to have a look at it. Whatever Prasanna is saying is totally right. If Simeone scores, if away goal is still there, and if Simeone scores in the first 20-30 minutes in the Atletico score 2-0, yeah, it's game set and match because you know what's going to happen. He's going to shut the shop up for 70 minutes. But there's no away goals now. So United has a chance in minute 90. So I really hope United can take advantage of this situation, and let's hope 70,000 fans they do something first at Old Trafford.
Yeah, it's all like on Ronaldo, basically. I mean, if he scores one or two, then I think then I
Yeah,
think they're definitely through. I
I
mean,
think Sancho needs to have a
obviously
good game.
everything is leading towards him scoring a hat trick um to make United win, because all the stats point to that way only. I mean, Simeone has like that team has considered only like 4 hat tricks in overall. I mean,
Yeah,
past few years, all of them by Ronaldo
all of
himself.
them with
All of them
Ronaldo.
are Ronaldo. And
So
yeah,
everything
somehow,
points towards that. Old Trafford, Ronaldo, Atletico Madrid. If it doesn't happen now, I mean, God forbid if it doesn't happen now, I don't see the point of him staying beyond the season.
Chinmay,
that
your
was,
thoughts on the
that was,
last
that was,
segment?
that was quite a big statement you made there. But
I mean, I'm not. I
I
won't.
mean,
Some
I
it's
really
like
think,
that.
I
I
really
mean,
think we're in the driving seat for top four. That's what I feel. I know this is a Champions League thing, but we're really in the driving seat for top four, if I'm not wrong. And you look at someone like Ronaldo, and what really gives him the satisfaction to win and to win trophies. Now, of course, if we're out of the Champions League, we're not winning any trophies this season, right? But the fact is, he's come back and he's come back on a mission to win something with United. And when you bring back Ronaldo, the first trophy that comes to your mind is the Premier League and the Champions League, right? It's not the FA Cup. You don't sign Ronaldo to win the FA Cup. So I think knowing the kind of person Ronaldo is, the kind of satisfaction, the kind of revenge feelings he gets, I think if we do get top four, I think he probably stays here another year. And he probably, if we do get a new manager in, or maybe even Ralph Rangnick, there are talks of him staying. I really think that he will stay onwards and look to challenge for a very serious trophy next year. But I actually, again, I come back to the fact that I do feel we will go ahead. And I just want to put it out there. We might go out to Atletico, but if we don't, we have a team which can go deep in this competition. Chelsea showed that last year they weren't a very very big team on quality, but they all came together. They all had a manager who had all his tactics well rounded, and you see what he did in a span of 4-5 months. And Rani can do the same. And we do have world class players. Bruno has consecutive 6 games. I think he's given assists in the Champions League. That tells you how good of a Champions League campaign he's having. He was absolutely he was invisible. He was, I think, one of the worst players on the pitch last night, Bruno Fernandes. And I'm not going to shy away from it. He was giving away the ball for no reason, hero ball, as some people say it. And he was not at all having a good game. I think at some point I even read that, Bruno Fernandes has never been to a round of 16. So, this is way above his league and way above his levels. But again, somehow he got the assist. So even with a bad performance, if you can rack up those numbers, that tells you that is what world class players do, right? You don't see De Bruyne, Alexander Arnold, your Messi's. They don't have always the big games or the great games. They give you good numbers too at some point. I probably think that if Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo, Pogba, if all of them can come together, give us a good fight, I think it's probably good enough for United to go deep in this tournament.
Yeah. So, like, obviously, this is a very open tie right now, United versus Atletico Madrid. But Prasanna, do you think Chelsea's match is almost like it's obviously halfway through? Anything can happen in the second leg as well. But do you think Chelsea obviously were already favorites, but 99% they are through to the next round?
I mean, we are favorites now, and we should be going through, but you never know. Lille in front, like we all know how the French crowd is. I mean, on a Champions League match day, it can go up to another level. So I think, if we score first, I think the game is done there because we can shut up shop for the rest of the time given our defense. But
Yeah,
if they score first, it's going to be another game altogether. I think we have to score. There's no point in going there for a nil-nil, in my opinion. I think we have to go there and try to score first and see the game from there. I think we will go through, and the other looking on the other teams. I mean, even though Bayern they did the first leg was 1-1, they got Kimmich. I think it was Kimmich or Coman who
which
got the
one?
equalizer.
Coman, I think.
Yeah, Coman. But I think they'll easily see out the second leg, and I think we should be good to go through. Um, Anything else would be a shock, and yeah, I think we will go through, and we'll see because this year Chelsea have been playing like a cup team, and all of the any all cup competitions we have reached the final in just in Tuchel's first year itself.
Yeah,
So that's the thing, and given that we have a substantial lead, I think we can probably say have to look at the league fixtures there. We don't need to necessarily go. We don't need to necessarily rest players going into that game. Is that's one thing if you have a good lead.
yeah. And your final thoughts on the first leg performances, like your what was going through your mind from the first till the 90th minute.
Um, I think Chelsea were fairly comfortable. Lil Dill, they did have moments. Alonso was getting caught on multiple times for pace as he always does. I think Rudiger for once had an off game. I mean, although
Yeah,
he did get some clearances, there were some sloppy moments in midfield where we gave the ball away carelessly, and Thiago Silva was just good that not only he did his work, he did work for others as well. Whenever Alonso kind of messed up the defensive side, he was always there to cover him,
yeah,
clear the ball away, and he doesn't even seem Silva doesn't even seem fussed about it. He just loves playing, um, and I think the thing we can control is the way we pass the ball, the way we go into the final third, the way we try to score. I mean, if you do that and the result is not in, and you don't get the result, you can say, okay, we did everything, but just the result wasn't in our hand. We were kind of lucky in some aspects because Lille didn't have their shooting boots on. I mean,
yeah,
their shots at best were straight at Mendy. That tell them they did have times where Chelsea kind of gave them space in the middle, and their shot was straight at Mendy. They didn't even test him, so we cannot afford to do that at most points. So we have to be solid, and we have to
well,
which team had the best first leg performance? Man City, hands down. That tie is over basically.
yeah. Chinmay, you agree with Prasanna on the question?
I can't not agree with him. They've. I think the tie was over in the first half of the first game.
Yeah.
Not even the full game. And now City get a chance to just play all the youngsters and give them a chance to go out and get some Champions League minutes and
Even their
debuts.
second team is better than most clubs' first
Most
team.
first, yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
mean, even you could say Inter could probably score two at Liverpool, even though it's highly unlikely that's going to be overturned. But final, and that too when you lose at home final, it's just
yeah. Chinmay, your thoughts on United's first leg tie?
My thoughts on United's first leg tie. I think we were. shambolic. Honestly, we were not very good. We started off very very badly. Atletico, they start off very lazily, and they don't normally play well in the first 20-30 minutes, but they literally scored in the first 10 minutes of the game, so that tells you how badly United wanted to shake the record off. And I think, as I said, the first half was absolutely shambolic. I think Bruno, Pogba, I don't even know what they were doing in that first half. And the second half, some passages of play, I really like the intensity. There was some high pressing. Ronaldo was on. Rashford had a forgettable game again, but Bruno was able to play one or two good passes in. And Ilanga, the star boy, again, Champions League night, gets in and scores. So I think it's a good thing we were at least able to draw the game, and it's a good draw we'll take back home, and we'll ponder upon it and probably go back and assess what we could have done better, and try to come back in the second leg.
Yeah, and obviously we have a big match for Chelsea and Liverpool before that this weekend. People may call it just energy drink cup or whatever people want to call it, but at the end of the day, it's a trophy. It's a cup which adds to the club's trophy case, which some clubs may not have. So on like obviously we have a show coming up on that on Saturday.
Only them can beat Man City and lose to Burnley in a space of 5 days.
Yeah, I
Spurs,
think
only Spurs, only Spurs.
It's the history of the Tottenham.
I mean, it's surprising to see drastic change of emotions within a week from Antonio Conte saying like almost it felt like they were the best team in the country to one of the worst teams in the country. The
Yeah,
way
I mean,
he
you
spoke
see his
out.
post match on Saturday night, and he's so jubilant. He's so happy. And yesterday night, he's saying, they have to take a decision on me, and they might have to change the manager. And it really tells you how big of a problem it is, I suppose. Because I'm not going to lie, Jose has been there. I I don't really rate Pochettino as a very, very high manager, but he does have the acumen. So Pochettino, Jose, Conte, and if the club isn't still doing that well, you know who the problem is. It's not probably the managers; it's the players now.
Yeah, yeah,
And the thing
and
is,
like
Conte, this has been problem with him. Like even at Chelsea, he used to literally blame everyone apart from himself. I mean, whenever
but
transfers didn't work
but
out,
currently I think that is right. Like Chinmay stated, three managers are coming and gone
Three
out.
top
Nuno was
managers
there,
in the world
Mason
right
was
now,
there. The players are
and
remain the same.
and I don't even blame
there are
Nuno because he wasn't even the first choice. I think they had like 17 or 18 interviews before they even took Nuno. So I don't even blame Nuno
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. So on that note, like I just like to again mention that we have a big show coming on Saturday as well, right around the same time with few of our Chelsea and Liverpool fan clubs. So don't forget to tune in for that as well. And obviously, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content. Do share the video and the channel with your friends. And we will just try to get in more content as we go on and the matches because we have so many talking points to go through. And obviously, follow us on our social media as well as we give out almost daily updates on Twitter as well. And I think Summer has a comment before that.
and the banter starts already. So Vineet and Prasanna, you have to get ready
I
for
mean,
the game.
uh, yeah, it like I said, it does count. It's a trophy at the end
Yeah,
of the
obviously
day.
it does. I mean,
Many people do call it like irrelevant. People call Club World Cup irrelevant, but till you're there in at that stage, you don't value it. So I think even many Liverpool fans were like, this is the only trophy which is missing for them, the Carabao Cup or the League Cup or whatever you want to call it. And they were like, it's okay. Klopp has won everything. He won Champions League. He won FA Cup and what else? Like other than the
I
cups
don't
and
think he did. I mean,
no, not the
Liverpool
FA
are due
Cup.
an FA Cup
Other
or
than
Carabao Cup in
yeah,
so many years, and
yeah.
that's
So
that's
other
one
than
thing.
FA Cup and League Cup, they won the Premier League, the Champions League, Club World Cup, Super Cup. So I think to the same Liverpool fans who are coming in now and stating, League Cup is a big thing because you have to be there. So I think it will be an interesting talking point, especially in terms of Liverpool fans. So let's see how it goes on Saturday and obviously the big match on Sunday. And I think we can just keep our eyes glued on the televisions for that. So, Prasanna, Chinmay, thanks for coming on
Yeah, just
as
last thing
usual.
before we round up.
Yeah,
Barca Napoli today, who do you think are going through?
it's going to be tough, but I actually feel it's going to be Barcelona because they deserved a lot more in the first leg itself. I think Ferran Torres missed too many chances, to be honest, before converting the penalty, obviously. But I think Barcelona have the acumen to, the big club mentality, regardless of how poor you are in the recent performances, is the big club acumen. Not stating that Napoli is a small club. Napoli equally good, and they could actually win the Europa League as well. But I think Barcelona have a better chance.
Even Auba is he scored a hat trick. He's on. He looks to try to get back on the scoring charts, and I think he could make a difference. But let's see.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, never know with Barcelona as well. Like, I don't think so. Even Barcelona fans can state with confidence that we are going to go through. I
Exactly.
mean, the performances one day have been too good. Second, the next day it has been, you know, bottom. So actually, we do have one more question from Samar. Talking about your UEFA Champions League format, if you lose in first round, you get two chances to reach next year's UEFA Champions League. But if you reach last 16, you get only one. So I mean, just to again elaborate on that question, if you finish third, especially you get two chances because you may win the Europa League, plus you may finish in the top four or top three in your specific country's league. But if you are in the round of 16, you get knocked out. You get knocked out for the whole
Exactly.
tournament. So there's no chance other than finishing in the top three or top four of your league. So do you think there is a difference? But I think this is what we have been accustomed to right now. It's been going on for the past so many years. And I think on some point we do feel it's fair because many teams who finish third are, I think, not always deservedly third, sometimes very unlucky. I think last season itself, there was a situation, I think it was between Inter, Madrid, and I think one more team. It went to the last match day and, a draw, loss here and there. So Chinmay, your thoughts on that if you had to say something?
Well, United faced it last season when we went the group of death last season with PSG and Leipzig, and we went. We weren't getting into the top two, and we beat PSG, we beat Leipzig, but we lost to Leipzig, we lost to PSG, and we came third and we went to the Europa. So I think, and we got to the Europa final, and we finished second in the league. So if we would have won that final, we would have qualified for the Champions League, but we already did. So I think, listen, you're completely right, Vineet. We're just accustomed to this format, and I think Summer's point here too, it's quite right, and that is why, not just because of this point, but there are a lot of calls for restructuring the whole Champions League format. They're saying they want to make it larger. They want to give a chance to, all the teams, trying to come in. So I think in the future, they say in 2024, 2025, if something of that sort does happen, maybe we'll get to see a fair chance for, other teams. For now, I feel, I wouldn't say fair, but I just feel we're used to it. We know this is how it works. A team knows that we would rather come third right now than and go into the Europa League. A team like Barcelona, if they don't finish fourth right now in the La Liga in the top four, they always know they have a chance to go on and win the Europa League, which will give them a
Hmm.
chance not only to hold a trophy but play in the Champions League. That's what Jose Mourinho did with the United. He had a chance to opt between going for top four and winning the Europa League with United. He went for the second option, and we got a trophy and we qualified for the Champions League. So it's all about
Yeah.
choices right now. We see how the format is. If it does get, maybe if it's changed in the future, I think it's better for all fans around the world.
Yeah. Prasanna, you want to add something on that?
I mean, it's we've seen constant. We've seen so many changes over the years in this format, and But that's the thing. Many teams just finish third or fourth and don't get past the round of 16. So what does that tell you? I mean, that's one thing. But if you are going for the Champions League, you need to really make an effort to go all the way, not just just get out of the group and qualify for the round of 16 just for the sake of it. And I think that we've kind of been spoiled over the years by saying, "Oh, top four, top four, top four." I mean, okay, top four is there, but are you actually making an effort to win the Champions League? If not, then top four is actually a waste of time. That's one thing I would say, though. The first thing in your mind is you have to win your league because that is your bread and butter. If you're not able to win the league, if you finish, say, you finish lower places, but you win a domestic cup, that's also a very good season. But if you qualify for the Champions League next season and you make a genuine attempt to win it, say you go to the semi-finals and you just miss out because of a penalty or an unlucky goal or something, then you're like, okay, we didn't win it, but we made an attempt to win it. Not just say go to the round of 16 and get knocked out for so many years. That doesn't make sense just because you're in top four. Nowadays it's a lot different because that brings in a whole lot of the TV money and all the for the club financially in that standpoint alone. But if you want to talk about, say, winning, unless you're making a genuine attempt to win the European trophies that you qualify for, the top 3 or 4 doesn't actually make sense per se. Other than that, okay, we finished third or we finished fourth.
Yeah, makes sense what you were saying. So on that note, Samar, I hope you got your question answered. If all of y'all feel the same, y'all can obviously drop in the comments whatever y'all feel. And this is where we end. So thank you guys. Thank you Prasanna, Chinmay, and especially our audience who tuned in, put in the questions and everything. So that's it from Fanspire. Have a good night. Stay safe. Bye.